Combine. To combine is to join together to make a single thing or group. Condensed. When a liquid is condensed, it is made thicker. Contemporary. When something is contemporary, it is related to the present time. Cultivate. To cultivate plants is to care for them and help them grow. Divine. When something is divine, it is related to gods. Humid. When it is humid, there is a lot of water in the air. Odor. An odor is a very distinct smell. Palate. The palate is the top part of the mouth. Paradise. Paradise is the place or condition of happiness where things are perfect. Plantation. A plantation is a big farm that only grows certain kinds of crops. Rapid. When something is rapid, it moves or changes very quickly. Rate. A rate is the speed at which something happens. Soothing. When something is soothing, it makes you calm or relaxed. Subtle. When something is subtle, it is not easy to see or notice. Texture. The texture of something is the way its surface looks and feels. Toxic. When something is toxic, it is poisonous and very dangerous. Vary. To vary means to be different from another thing in size or amount. Admiral. An admiral is someone who controls many military ships. Arc. An arc is a curved shape. Character. Your character is your personality. Conscience. Your conscience is your inner sense of what is right and wrong. Escape. If you escape from a place, you succeed in getting away from it. Fiery. If something is fiery, it is burning strongly. Flesh. Flesh is the muscle and fat on your body. Grapefruit. A grapefruit is a fruit similar to an orange, but bigger and not as sweet. Hay. Hay is dry grass used to feed animals and can be used for different purposes. Horrified. If you are horrified, you are very shocked and feel upset. Kerosene. Kerosene is a type of oil used in some lamps and stoves. Loop. A loop is a line made into the shape of a circle. Middle. The middle is nearest the center and with an equal number of things on each side. Paddle. A paddle is a piece of wood or plastic that moves a boat across water. Sour. When something is sour, it has a sharp and unpleasant taste. Stake. A stake is a small, sharp piece of wood or metal that is put into the ground. Steward. A steward is a person like a waiter who serves food on planes and ships. String. String is a thin piece of fabric or rope. Thorn. A thorn is a sharp part of a plant. Wreck. To wreck something means to destroy or ruin it. Admonish. To admonish someone is to tell them you disapprove of their behavior. Audible. If something is audible, then it is able to be heard. Awesome. If things or people are awesome, they are impressive or frightening. Beware. To beware means to be careful of something or someone that is dangerous. Brag. To brag means to talk of one's abilities or achievements in a proud way. Conscious. If someone is conscious of something, then they are aware of it. Disagree. To disagree with someone means to have a different opinion from them. Echo. To echo means that a sound repeats itself because it bounced off an object. Eventual. If something is eventual, it will happen at the end of a series of events. Hint. A hint is information that suggests something will happen or is true. Idiot. An idiot is a person who is not smart or who has done something silly. Immense. If something is immense, it is very large. Indirect. If something is indirect, then it is not the easiest or straightest way. Option. An option is a choice between two or more things. Pastime. A pastime is an activity that you do often for fun. Perfect. If something is perfect, then it is without any mistakes. Pinpoint. To pinpoint something means to locate it exactly. Switch. To switch means to change something to something else. Thorough. If something is thorough, it is complete, or torment. Thorough. If something is thorough, it is complete, or done carefully. Torment. To torment someone means to cause them to suffer on purpose. Abrupt. If something is abrupt, it is sudden or unexpected. Agony. Agony is severe pain or suffering. Assassin. An assassin is someone who murders an important person. Beard. A beard is hair that grows on a man's chin and cheeks. Beast. A beast is a large and dangerous animal. Chapel. A chapel is a building where people go to pray and worship God. Commentator. A commentator is a person who gives opinions or describes something, often con. Commentator. A commentator is a person who gives opinions or describes something, often on TV or the radio. Con. To con someone is to trick that person into doing something or giving up money. Consensus. A consensus is a general agreement among a group of people. Conspiracy. A conspiracy is a secret plan that two or more people make together to do something harmful or illegal. Coup. A coup is an uprising in which people try to overthrow the government. Cynical. To be cynical is to be unwilling to believe that people have good intentions. Dome. A dome is a curved roof of a building. Exclaim. Forum. A forum is an open public place in which meetings are held. Glamour. Glamour is a quality relating to riches, wealth, and beauty. Harass. To harass someone is to bother or attack them repeatedly. Illuminate. If you illuminate something, you shine light on or brighten it. Inflame. To inflame something is to provoke or intensify it. Melody. A melody is a series of musical notes that form the main part of a song. A while. If you do something a while, you do it for a short time. Cyberspace. Cyberspace is the imaginary place on the Internet where activities occur. Edit. To edit means to correct a piece of writing so that it is suitable to be published. Essay. An essay is a short piece of writing on a certain subject. Evaluate. To evaluate something means to study it, so faint. To faint means to go unconscious and fall down. Global. If something is global, it happens all around the world. Gymnasium. A gymnasium is a building with equipment that you can use to get exercise. Highlight. To highlight something means to mark it with a color so that it is easy to see. Ignorant. If someone is ignorant about something, they have no knowledge about it. Index. An index is a list of words at the end of a book that gives information. Lecture. A lecture is a long, educational speech. Moral. A moral is a message at the end of a story that teaches you something. Operate. To operate means to work or function. Private. If something is private, it is only used by one person or group. Recent. When something is recent, it happened a short time ago. Resolution. A resolution is a personal decision. Semester. A semester is a portion of a school year. Typewritten. If something is typewritten, it is written on a computer or typewriter. Weird. When something is weird, it is very strange. Accustom. To accustom oneself to something is to get used to it. Alpha. The alpha member of a group is the most dominant, or has the highest rank. Arouse. To arouse means to awaken interest or attention in someone. Articulate. If someone is articulate, he or she has the ability to express ideas clearly and effectively. Buzz. To buzz means to show excitement about something. Clash. To clash means to fight or argue over something. Classification. Classification means putting things into categories or groups that have things in common. Cling. To cling to something means to hold on to it tightly. Compliance. Compliance is the act of following a rule or doing what you are supposed to do. Comprehend. To comprehend something means to understand it. Congregate. To congregate means to gather in one place. Custody. Custody is the right to take care of someone or something. Disperse. To disperse means to scatter everywhere. Embody. To embody means to symbolize or represent something. Empirical. Empirical means involving scientific proof and evidence. Exclusion. Exclusion is the act of keeping someone out of a group. Flock. To flock means to gather in one place. Graze. When animals graze, they feed on plants. Intelligent. If someone is intelligent, they are very smart. Jungle. A jungle is a type of forest in a warm, rainy tropical area. Account. An account with a bank is an arrangement to keep one's money there. Architect. An architect is a person who designs buildings. Conceal. To conceal something means to hide it. Crime. If someone commits a crime, he or she does something bad that can be punished by law. Deed. A deed is a certificate that proves that someone owns something. Gratitude. Gratitude is a feeling of being thankful. Habitat. A habitat is the natural home of animals or plants. Intervene. To intervene means to help stop a problem between two people or groups. Landmark. A landmark is an object that helps people find or remember a location. Legal. If something is legal, it is related to the law, or memorable. If something is memorable, then it is remembered for a special. Oblige. To oblige someone means to require them to do something. Offense. An offense is an action that breaks the law and requires punishment. Proclaim. To proclaim something means to say it in public. Rally. A rally is a large public meeting in order to support something. Resolve. To resolve something means to find a solution. Resource. Resources are a person's or country's money and materials that they can use. Sentence. A sentence is punishment given to someone who didn't follow the law. Volunteer. To volunteer means to offer to do something for free. Witness. A witness is someone who sees or hears a crime or accident happen. Access. Access is the right to enter or use something. Conduct. Conduct is the way that someone acts. Constant. When an event or action is constant, it happens a lot or all of the time. Crack. A crack is a narrow space between the parts of something broken. Device. A device is an object or a machine. Enclose. To enclose something is to contain it. Grip. To grip something is to hold it very tightly. Halt. To halt is to stop moving. Impending. If something is impending, it is going to happen soon. Influence. To influence someone or something is to have an effect on them. Law. A law is a rule made by the legislative body. Mode. A mode is a setting or condition on a machine. Perspire. To perspire means to sweat. Replace. To replace something is to put it in the place of something else. Snap. To snap something means to break it suddenly, which sly. If a person or animal is sly, they are sneaky or good at tricking people. Tend. To tend to do something is to be likely to do it, or to do it often. Valid. When something is valid, it is correct, or based on good reasoning. Version. A version is an account of something that differs slightly from the original. Whatsoever. You use whatsoever after a noun to emphasize that there is nothing of that thing. Alongside. If something is alongside another thing, then it is next to it. Appetite. Your appetite is your hunger for food. Assist. To assist someone is to help them. Breeze. A breeze is a soft wind. Defy. To defy someone is to work against them or refuse to do what they say. Display. To display something is to show it, especially by putting it in a certain place. Efficient. If something or someone is efficient, they do not waste energy. Feeble. If someone is feeble, they are small or weak. Forgive. To forgive someone is to stop being angry with them. Lively. If someone is lively, they have a lot of energy. Majestic. If something is majestic, it is large and impressive. Nor. You use nor to connect two negative ideas. Outraged. If someone is outraged, they are very angry. Pessimistic. If someone is pessimistic, they relationship. Pessimistic. If someone is pessimistic, they believe that the worst will happen. Relationship. The relationship between two or more people is the way in which they behave toward each other. Slap. To slap someone means to hit them with the palm of the hand. Smash. To smash something is to break it into many small pieces. Successful. Someone who is successful achieves what they intended to achieve. Wage. A wage is the money that a person gets for doing a job. Whereas. You use whereas to show how two things are different. Animate. When something is animate, it has life. Classify. To classify things is to put them into groups based on their type. Concede. To concede is to admit against your wish that something is true. Concept. A concept is an idea about something. Construct. To construct something means to make or build it. Decade. A decade is a period of 10 years. Diagram. A diagram is a simple drawing that explains what something is or how it works. Ferry. A ferry is a boat that carries passengers over short distances. Handy. If something is handy, it is useful. Isolate. To isolate is to separate one person or thing from a group. Longing. A longing is a strong feeling of wanting. Numerous. If something is numerous, there are many of those things. Particle. A particle is a very small piece of something. Plea. A plea is a request that is urgent or emotional. Refrain. To refrain from something is to avoid doing it. Review. A review of something is a formal inspection of it by people in authority. Sophisticated. If someone is sophisticated, they know many things about the world. Surrender. To surrender something is to give it up. Upright. If something is upright, it is standing up straight. Worthwhile. If something is worthwhile, it is important or useful. Alliance. An alliance is a group of people who work together. Applause. Applause is the noise made when people clap their hands to show approval. Armed. If you are armed, you are carrying a weapon. Authoritative. If something is authoritative, it uses the best information available. Bravery. Bravery is brave behavior. Ceremony. A ceremony is an event that happens on special occasions. Culture. Culture is the music, art, and writings of a certain place or group of people. Defense. A defense is something that is done to protect another thing. Detail. A detail is a small piece of information. Diverse. When a group of things is diverse, it is made up of a wide variety of things. Enchant. To enchant someone is to make them feel very interested or happy. Equip. To equip someone is to give them the things needed to do something. Exception. An exception is someone or something not conforming to a rule. Genre. A genre is a type of literature, art, or music characterized by its style. Impact. An impact is the effect someone or something has. Lure. To lure someone is to convince them to do something by using a trick. Obstacle. An obstacle is an object or a problem that stops you from doing something. Shelter. A shelter is a place to go that is safe from danger or bad weather. Supply. To supply something means to give people what they need or want. Vain. If people are vain, they are only concerned with how they look. Alternative. An alternative is something that you can choose instead of your first choice. Avenue. An avenue is a road, often a large one, with buildings on each side. Belly. The belly is the stomach of a person or animal. Bid. A bid to do something is an attempt to do it. Blow. To blow means to move air or move something through the air, as in the wind. Conflict. A conflict is a fight between different people or groups. Continent. A continent is one of the 7 large areas of land on the earth. Current. A current is a steady and constant flow of air or water in a river or ocean. Disrespect. Disrespect is rudeness or behavior that shows a lack of respect. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a very strong, good feeling about something. Harsh. When something is harsh, it is very unpleasant. Lean. To lean is to bend in a particular direction. Meantime. The meantime is the time between 2 events. Mischief. Mischief is behavior that is meant to trick or cause trouble for people. Muscle. Muscle is a mass of tissue attached to bone that helps you move. Rescue. To rescue someone means to remove them from danger. Succession. A succession is a number of things that follow one after the other. Terrain. The terrain is the land and all of its physical features or parts. Timid. If someone is timid, they are afraid, shy, or nervous. Violence. Violence is forceful action that is meant to injure or kill people. Affect. To affect someone or something is to have an influence over them. Autograph. An autograph is the written name of a famous person. Bead. A bead is a drop of liquid. Brew. To brew coffee or tea means to pour hot water over it. Charm. To charm someone is to please them with your personality. Destiny. A destiny is all the things that happen or will happen to a person in their life. Equipment. Equipment consists of the things which are used for a specific purpose. Horn. A horn is a device that makes a loud noise. Irritable. When someone is irritable, they become annoyed or angry very easily. Lag. To lag behind is to move slowly behind other moving objects. Nightmare. A nightmare is a bad or scary dream. Nutritious. When something is nutritious, it helps the body stay healthy. Protein. Protein is a substance that... Signature. A signature is your name when you write it in your own way. Stuff. Stuff is a word used to refer to things without mentioning the things by name. Subconscious. When something is subconscious, it is done without thinking about it. Van. A van is a vehicle that is used for carrying things. It is warn. To warn someone is to make them know of possible danger in the future. Workout. A workout is an exercise routine that helps improve health. Zoom. To zoom is to move quickly. Brick. A brick is a block of hard clay that is used for building things, such as walls. Crumble. To crumble means to break or fall apart into small pieces. Dough. Dough is a mixture of flour and water that becomes bread when baked. Express. To express a feeling or idea means to show others how one thinks or feels. Fist. A fist is a hand with fingers bent in toward the palm. Flexible. If something is flexible, then it can bend easily without breaking. Flush. To flush means the face becomes red due to heat, illness, or emotion. Injure. To injure someone means to damage a part of their body. Lump. A lump is a small piece of something that is solid. Mixture. A mixture is something that is made by mixing other things together. Reconcile. To reconcile means to return to a friendly relationship. Ruin. To ruin something means to harm or damage it greatly. Shatter. To shatter something means to break it suddenly into many tiny pieces. Shutter. Shutters are wooden or metal covers in front of a window. Sift. To sift something means to remove all the large pieces. Slight. If something is slight, then it is small or minor. Sparkle. To sparkle means to shine brightly with quick flashes of sprinkle. Sparkle. To sparkle means to shine brightly with quick flashes of light. Sprinkle. To sprinkle means to scatter something all over something else. Stale. If food is stale, then it is not fresh, but dry, hard, and not good to eat. Utter. To utter a word or a sound means to say it. Although. You use although to say that one thing is contrasted by another. Apply. To apply something means to put it on. Await. To await something means to wait for it. Beloved. When something is beloved, it is very special, and you like it very much. Climate. A climate is the usual weather in a place. Complain. When you complain, you say that you are unhappy about something. Confuse. To confuse someone means to make them feel like they are unsure. Due. When something is due, it is expected to happen or be done at that time. Establish. To establish something means to create it. Furnace. A furnace is a place where heat is made. Leash. A leash is a rope or chain that is used to lead an animal. Mature. To mature means to grow up to become an adult. Measure. To measure something means to find out the quality, value, or effect of it. Midst. The midst of something is the middle of it. Misery. Misery is extreme suffering. Powerless. Powerless means without power or authority. Prior. When something happened prior to something else, it happened earlier. Research. Research is close and careful study to discover new things. Spaceship. A spaceship is a craft designed for space flight. Variety. A variety of something is a group of many different kinds of it. Altogether. If something happens altogether, it happens completely. To bind people is to make them feel united together. Bruise. A bruise is a dark mark caused by being hit by something. Custom. A custom is a way of doing things that has been the same for a long time. Disobedient. When someone is disobedient, they do not follow the rules or instructions. Foresee. To foresee something is to know about it before it happens. Glimpse. To glimpse something is to see it for a short time. Hoop. A hoop is a ring that is made of plastic, metal, or wood. Misfortune. Misfortune is bad luck or an unlucky event. Negative. When something is negative, it is unpleasant or sad. Per. Per is used to mean each when plead. Per. Per is used to mean each when giving a price, size, or amount. Plead. To plead is to ask for something you want very badly. Rip. To rip something means to pull it apart. Sake. The sake of something is the reason for doing it. Scrape. To scrape something is to rub it very hard with something sharp. Source. A source of something is the place that it comes from. Stern. When somebody is stern, they are very serious. Stitch. To stitch is to use a needle and thread to join pieces of cloth together. Thump. A thump is the sound of a heavy object hitting something. Vehement. When somebody is vehement, they are angry and emotional. Ailing. If something is ailing, it is sickly or not doing well. Alike. If two people or things are alike, they are similar to each other. Appall. To appall means to disgust someone. Bathe. To bathe means to wash oneself with water. Bounds. Bounds is the area in a game in which plays are legal. Critique. To critique means express an opinion about the good and the bad parts of something. Demography. Demography is the study of people and populations. Diagnosis. A diagnosis is a doctor's decision about the cause of an illness. Dip. A dip is a decline or a worsening in condition. Distress. Distress is a feeling of sadness and anxiousness. Fever. A fever is when a body's temperature is higher than normal. Grim. Something that is grim is worrying, serious, and scary. Gut. Someone's gut is their intestines, where food is processed after leaving the stomach. Helmet. A helmet is a type of hard hat that protects your head. Herb. An herb is a plant used for cooking or medicine. Militant. If someone is militant, they are angry and aggressive and willing to fight easily. Miracle. A miracle is an unexpected blessing which seems almost impossible, like a gift from heaven. Mourn. To mourn means to show or feel great sadness when you lose someone. Nonsense. Nonsense are words or ideas that are silly or foolish. Physician. A physician is a doctor. Accent. An accent is a certain way of speaking that shows where a person is from. Barber. A barber is a person whose job is to cut men's hair. Basement. A basement of a house or building is a room that is built underground. Blank. When something is blank, it does not have anything on it. Blink. To blink means to shut the eyes and quickly open them again. Choir. A choir is a group of people who sing together. Comic. When something is comic, it is funny. Complicate. To complicate something means to make it harder than necessary. Decline. To decline an offer or invitation means to say no to it. Errand. An errand is a trip taken to do a specific activity. Glove. A glove is a piece of clothing that covers your fingers and hand. Hermit. A hermit is one who lives alone and does not spend time with others. Justly. If something is done justly, then it is fair. Leather. Leather is a material made from ponder. Leather. Leather is a material made from animal skin that is used to make clothing. Ponder. To ponder something is to think about it carefully. Reserve. To reserve something means to keep it for a certain person or time. Script. A script is the words of a film or play. Search. To search for something or someone means to look for them carefully. Slam. To slam is to close something hard. Staircase. A staircase is a set of stairs found inside a building. Afflicted. Afflicted means to suffer physically or mentally. Aisle. An aisle is a space between two things that people use to walk. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is the air around the earth where weather conditions form. Author. An author is a person who wrote a certain piece of writing. Breakdown. A breakdown is a failure to work correctly. Cargo. Cargo is the items carried by a ship or an airplane. Chapter. A chapter is a part of a book that usually has a number or a title. Connect. To connect two things means to join them together. Etc. etc. is short for etc. It is used. Flip. To flip means to press a switch quickly to turn it on or off. Idle. If you are idle, you are not doing anything. Notify. To notify someone of something is to tell them about it. Pea. Peas are a vegetable that is small, round, and green. Raisin. A raisin is a dried grape. Retain. To retain something is to keep it. State. To state something means to say it in a definite way. Tray. A tray is a flat plate used to hold food. Unfortunate. If something is unfortunate, it is bad or unlucky. Vivid. When something is vivid, it is bright and colorful. Vomit. To vomit means to have food come up from one's stomach. Ambition. Ambition is the desire to succeed and to become the best at something. Ambulance. An ambulance is a vehicle that transports people in a medical emergency. Ankle. An ankle connects your leg to your foot. Cabin. A cabin is a small wooden house in a forest or camping area. Calendar. A calendar is a chart that shows the days, weeks, and months of the year. Calorie. A calorie is a unit of heat used to measure how much energy a food will produce. Cave. A cave is an open space or hole underground or inside a mountain or cliff. Constantly. Constantly means doing something on a continuous basis. Contingent. A contingent is a set of people that are part of a larger group. Deadline. A deadline is the time by which you need to have something completed. Exert. To exert means to use strength or ability to do something. Flank. To flank is to be positioned at the side of something or someone. Fond. To be fond of something means to cherish or like it. Forbid. To forbid means to order someone not to do something. Haul. To haul something means to carry it from place to place. Impair. To impair something means to make it weaker or worse. Impatient. To be impatient means to get angry or anxious when something takes too much time. Mid. Mid means in the middle or center of something. Nutrition. Nutrition is the process of eating the right kind of food in order to stay healthy. Optimist. An optimist is someone who has a lot of hope and always sees the bright side of things. Background. A background is a person's education, family, and experience. Bait. Bait is something used to trick a person or thing to do something. Chronicle. To chronicle an event means to record it. Copper. Copper is a red-brown metal often used in electric wire and pipes. Disease. A disease is an illness that causes specific problems. Folklore. Folklore is the collection of beliefs and stories of a culture. Infect. To infect someone means to give them an illness. Itch. To itch means to have an unpleasant feeling that you want to scratch. Literature. Literature is books, plays, and poetry. Millennium. A millennium is 1,000 years. Myth. A myth is a traditional story that explains a culture's history and beliefs. Promote. To promote someone means to raise them to a higher position or rank. Relate. To relate to something means to have a connection with it. Religion. A religion is a belief in a god or gods. Sum. A sum is a specific amount of money. Teller. A teller is a person who works with a bank's customers. Trustworthy. If someone is trustworthy, they are honest and truthful. Update. To update something means to make it more modern. Vein. A vein is a tube in the body that carries blood toward the heart. Venom. Venom is a poisonous substance that comes from animals or plants. Charity. Charity is an act of giving help, usually money, to those who need it. Commerce. Commerce is the activity of buying and selling things. Condemn. To condemn someone means to give them a specific punishment. Cozy. If something is cozy, then it is comfortable, warm, and relaxing. Deplete. To deplete an amount of something means to use all of it up. Economy. An economy is the money and businesses of a country or region. Empire. An empire is a large group of countries ruled. Goods. Goods are anything that can be bought or sold. Heed. To heed something means to obey or follow it. Hitchhike. To hitchhike means to travel by asking for rides from passing vehicles. Mock. To mock someone means to tease them in a cruel way. Neutral. If someone is neutral, then they do not help either of the two fighting sides. Persecute. To persecute means to treat someone badly. Pity. Pity is the feeling of sadness and kindness for those who are suffering. Reduce. To reduce something means to make it smaller in size or fewer in number. Scribe. A scribe was a person whose job was to copy written works. Temper. A temper is someone's mood or a chance that they might get angry. Throne. A throne is the special chair in which a ruler sits. Unity. Unity is the state of victor. Unity. Unity is the state of people working together for a certain purpose. Victor. A victor is a group or person that wins in a contest. Accurate. If something is accurate, it is completely correct. Analyze. To analyze something is to study it. Asteroid. An asteroid is a giant rock from outer space. Controversy. A controversy is a dispute about something that affects many people. Evolve. To evolve is to change over time. Factor. A factor is something that has an effect on the way another thing happens. Genetic. If something is genetic, it is related to the genes in one's body. Genome. A genome is the collection of all the genes in a living thing. Identical. To be identical is to be the same as someone or something else. Intellectual. An intellectual is a very smart person. Majority. A majority of something is more than half of the people or things in that group. Mammal. A mammal is an animal that usually has hair and is not born from an egg. Multiply. To multiply is to increase in number. Offspring. Offspring are the children of a person or the babies of an animal. Pesticide. A pesticide is a substance used to kill insects. Regulate. To regulate something is to control how it happens. Reinforce. To reinforce something is to make it stronger. Stricken. If someone or something is stricken by a disease or problem, they are badly affected by it. Vast. If something is vast, it is very large. Vegetarian. A vegetarian is someone who does not eat any meat products. Bowl. A bowl is a dish with a round cooking. Bowl. A bowl is a dish with a round, deep shape. Cooking. Cooking food involves making it ready to eat. Dense. If something is dense, it has a lot of things close together. Dignity. Dignity is the ability to be calm and worthy of respect. Dominate. To dominate someone or something is to control them. Earthen. If something is earthen, it is made of clay. Hostile. If someone is hostile, they are angry and unfriendly. Incorrect. If something is incorrect, it is wrong. Intake. Your intake of food is the amount of food you take into your body. Likewise. If someone does something likewise, they do the same thing as someone else. Machine. A machine is made by people and does work for us. Medication. Medication is medicine or drugs given to people who are sick. Obscure. If something is obscure, it is not well known. Oppress. To oppress someone means to rule over them in a cruel and unfair way. Peel. To peel fruits and vegetables is to remove their skin. Prescription. A prescription is permission from a doctor to get medicine. Progress. When you make progress, you get better at what you are doing. Sandy. Sandy means covered with sand. Shortage. Shortage comes from short and means not having enough. Skillful. If someone is skillful at something, they are very good at doing it. Aircraft. An aircraft is a vehicle that flies in the sky, such as an airplane or helicopter. Celebrity. A celebrity is someone who is famous. Concrete. Concrete is a substance made from stones. Decisive. If someone is decisive, they make decisions quickly. Esteemed. If someone is esteemed, many people like or respect them. Ethical. If something is ethical, it is the right thing to do. Extinct. If plants or animals are extinct, there are none left. Hardy. If a person or plant is hardy, it is strong and institute. Hardy. If a person or plant is hardy, it is strong and can live through difficult conditions. Institute. An institute is an organization that is interested in research or teaching. Jealousy. Jealousy is a feeling of wanting something that somebody else has. Migrate. To migrate means to move from one place to another. Nurture. To nurture something means to care for it as it grows or develops. Overhead. If something is overhead, it is located above you. Principle. A principle is a belief about the correct way to behave. Rural. If a place is rural, it is in the countryside instead of the city. Secluded. If a place is secluded, it is far away from any other place. Species. A species is a type of plant or animal. Swamp. A swamp is a very wet area of land. Traverse. To traverse means to move or travel through an area. Zoology. Zoology is a subject in which people study animals. Accordingly. If someone acts accordingly, they act in a way that is suitable. Accordingly. If someone acts accordingly, they act in a way that is suitable. Anchor. An anchor is a heavy object dropped from a boat to make it stay in one place. Cause. When you cause something, you make it happen. Context. Context is the situations that form the background of an event. Designate. To designate someone or something means to give them a particular description. Distort. To distort something means to lie about it or pull or twist out of shape. Dock. A dock is an enclosed area where ships go to be loaded, unloaded, and repaired. Energy. If you have a lot of energy, you have plenty of strength and can do lots of things. Frequent. If something is frequent, then it happens or is done often. Gears. The gears are the part of a motor that controls the speed. Genuine. When something is genuine, it is true or real. Grease. Grease is an oily substance put on moving parts so they... Knowledge. Grease. Grease is an oily substance put on moving parts so they work smoothly, or oil or fat in cooking. Knowledge. Knowledge is what you know. Omit. When you omit something, you leave it out or do not do it. Offset. To offset means to use one thing to cancel out the effect of another thing. Overlap. To overlap something means to cover a piece of it. Second-hand. When something is second-hand, it has been owned by someone else. Skill. When you have skill at doing a job, you are good at doing it. Slot. A slot is a narrow opening in a machine or container. Tactic. A tactic is a careful plan to achieve something. Beneficial. If something is beneficial, it is good for you. Birthplace. A birthplace is a place where a person is born, or capacity. The capacity of something is the amount of things that can be put in it. Comparative. If something is comparative, it is being judged based on something else. Comprehensive. If something is comprehensive, it has all the details about something else. Conserve. To conserve something is to protect it from being ruined or used completely. Crucial. If something is crucial, it is extremely important to another thing. Cumulative. Cumulative describes an increase by adding one after another. Deposit. To deposit something is to put it into a place or another thing. Distribute. To distribute something is to give it to a number of people.
The teacher distributed crayons and...
Equator. The equator is an imaginary line that splits the earth into north and south. Exotic. Exotic describes something unusual because it is from far away. Federal. If something is federal, it relates to the government of a country. Formation. A formation is the way that something is made. Frequency. The frequency of something is the number of times that it happens. Objective. An objective is a goal or plan that someone has. Oxygen. Oxygen is a gas that all living things need to breathe. Rainforest. A rainforest is a forest that is in a place where it rains very often. Strategy. A strategy is a plan for how to do something. Wooded. If an area is wooded, it is covered with trees. Avail. Avail is help or benefit. Define. To define means to clearly state, show, or explain what something is. Dread. To dread is to be afraid of something that could or is going to happen. Expand. To expand is to become bigger in size. Fundamental. If something is fundamental, it is a basic part of something. Horrifying. If something is horrifying, it is frightening and very unpleasant. Incredulous. If someone is incredulous about something, they do not believe that it is true. Linger. To linger is to last for a long time. Organism. An organism is a living thing, especially a very small one. Paraphrase. To paraphrase is to make someone else's writing or speech shorter. Plague. A plague is a serious disease that quickly spreads to many people. Presently. If something happens presently, it is happening right now. Random. If something is random, it happens without any pattern or reason. Riot. A riot is a crowd that reacts to bad news by violently breaking laws. Scribble. To scribble is to write something quickly without caring about how it looks. Shrine. A shrine is a religious building built to honor a person, event, or god. Solitude. Solitude is the state of being totally alone. Stark. If something is stark, then it is severe or clear in appearance or outline. Summon. To summon a person is to ask them to come to you. Worsen. To worsen is to get worse. Automobile. An automobile is a car. Candidate. A candidate is a person who is competing to win something such as a job. Confidential. If something is confidential, it must be kept secret. Corporate. If something is corporate, it is related to a large business. Enhance. To enhance something is to make it better. Era. An era is a period of time that has something special about it. Guideline. A guideline is a rule about how to do something. Incorporate. To incorporate is to add something to another thing. Interact. To interact is to talk to or do something with another person. Interval. An interval is the time between two things happening. Mobile. If something is mobile, it can be moved easily. Modify. To modify something is to change it a little bit. Parallel. If two things are parallel, they are the same distance away from each other along their entire length. Phenomenon. A phenomenon is something that can be seen as it is happening. Pollute. To pollute means to make air, water, or land dirty, unclean, or foul. Ridicule. To ridicule is to make fun of something in a mean way. Solar. If something is solar, it is related to the sun. Territory. A territory is a piece of land that belongs to a country but isn't a state. Tournament. A tournament is a competition, usually with many people participating. Transportation. Transportation is any type of vehicle that can carry people or things. Bill. A bill is a statement of money owed for goods or for a service. Boundary. A boundary is the line where one area of land stops and another begins. Chaos. Chaos is a situation that is confusing and not ordered. Consistent. If a person is consistent, they always have the same behavior or attitude. Cyclone. A cyclone is a large storm with heavy rain and winds that spin in a circle. Doomed. If someone or something is doomed, they are going to fail or be destroyed. Heir. An heir is a person who receives the money or property of someone who dies. Martial. If something is martial, it is related to fighting or war. Organic. If food is organic, it is grown without adding chemicals to it. Poultry. Poultry is a bird, such as a chicken, that is used for meat and eggs. Scramble. To scramble is to move somewhere quickly and desperately. Sergeant. A sergeant is a soldier or police officer of middle rank. Sheer. If you describe something as sheer, it is complete and total. Stance. A stance is an attitude about an issue that someone states clearly. Telegraph. A telegraph is a method of sending electric messages on wires. Textile. Textile is cloth that has been woven or knitted. Tornado. A tornado is a tube-shaped formation of air that spins very quickly. Typhoon. A typhoon is a large tropical storm that moves in circles. Wail. To wail is to show sadness by crying loudly. Wardrobe. A wardrobe is the collection of all of a person's clothing. Adverse. Something that has an adverse effect can be harmful, dangerous, or unfavorable. Alternate. An alternate option is a different option. Biodegradable. Materials that are biodegradable break down naturally into substances that do not harm the environment. Boxed. When something is boxed, it is inside a package.